My name is Bibi. I'm a film major at Hunter College, and I went to Istanbul in 2009 when I was 17.
I'm Yasmin Soufian. I'm studying psychology. I'm a photographer and baking enthusiast. I went to Israel this past summer, 2012.
My name is Neville Sadhu. I am a history and philosophy major. Most memorable, I have to say, probably Egypt.
My name is Sumaya Tasneem. I'm majoring in biochemistry and religion, and I went to Italy in summer of 2011.
When I went to Istanbul, though, I was in Iran, and that was in 2009, though, during the election, and that's when all the protests erupted. So I needed a vacation from my own vacation. I was like, okay, let's go somewhere. I need to go somewhere. Let's go to Turkey.
I originally went as part of a birthright trip, and then I extended to volunteer for the Israeli army, and then I volunteered on a goat farm.
Egypt was, my mother usually travels with a group of people, and we decided actually not to go with them. And then on second thought, we were like, what the heck are we doing? It's a trip to Egypt.
I wanted to go study abroad before I went to graduate school. I've never been to Europe before, so I wanted to experience a new culture. And on top of that, they were offering a photography class in Italy, and I thought it would be the most amazing experience because of my new hobby of doing photography, and I recently bought a DSLR camera, so I wanted to learn how to use it. And what better to learn how to use it than in a foreign country that's known to be so beautiful.
I love seeing the architecture is really cool. It's not every day that you get to see a mosque that changed into a church. In Turkey, everything is so combined with this Middle Eastern culture and this European culture. That's really fun.
Took away a lot from each experience because each was so different. Farm, I learned the importance of working together and teamwork. We were volunteers that basically ran the farm. In the army, it was amazing because I got to live on an army base with soldiers. So I got to wear a uniform. So it was amazing to see how soldiers our age are just like us, but they also go through so much. And by the end of their service, it's amazing to see what an important role their experience there has played on their maturation.
What was my most memorable memory? I think it had to be climbing the pyramid. At that time, they didn't really have restrictions on how close you can get. You could actually climb it pretty much all the way to the top. So one of my fondest memories is pretty much getting more than halfway to the top, because it's a lot easier to climb up than coming down. And I didn't realize it because I was just so excited and running off adrenaline. And then we're close to the top, and then I'm looking down at my mom and the tour guide screaming at me to come back down because I was so high up.
The most significant was when I went to Cinque Terre, because Cinque Terre was made out of 5 different towns, and you had to hike from one town to another. And I personally am not a physically active person, so thinking that I had to hike so high and for so long, I really didn't think I could make it or I would enjoy it at all. But when we went there, it was just the most beautiful place ever. The sun was shining, the beaches were absolutely beautiful. You could just see cliffs everywhere. And me and my friend, we started hiking, and it took about 2 hours to do the entire hike. And along the way, we met such friendly people who helped us get up the hiking trail, then also overcoming an obstacle that I really didn't think that I would be able to overcome. It really made me proud of myself, and it was also an amazingly gorgeous place that I really hope to go back to sometime.
I guess seeing the way other people interact with one another too is interesting. In Istanbul, people are really pushy. It's awkward. I was actually bartered once at the bazaar. We were looking at a necklace, and it was $100. My mom was like, what the hell, $100? And he was like, oh, I'll give you the necklace for free if I can have the girl. I was like, what? This is really creepy, and you're shorter than me, so this is awkward.
One soldier that I met once told a friend of mine that he thinks it's beautiful how Americans take freedom for granted, and at first that was confusing to me, but it was a really interesting thought, and I understood the truth in that after working with soldiers and felt so sheltered, but it really opened up my world to see how different people live. I think that's why I love traveling so much. I get to experience different ways of life, to consider different perspectives, to talk to different people.
The whole trip itself was inspirational. I got to see a different country. I got to see the pyramids, which are the pinnacle of men's engineering skills without any high-tech machinery. So I think that was pretty cool to actually climb it, to go inside of it. It was fantastic.
One of my projects was taking portraits, so I decided to take a series of pictures of different women. I took a picture of a homeless woman, and she was begging for money, yet when I took the picture, she was smiling and being on camera. She felt good for that little moment, and it made her feel significant.
I thought Masada during sunrise was breathtaking. We actually woke up at 3 in the morning and we started hiking. It was pitch black outside, and as we were hiking, it got brighter and brighter, and then within 5 minutes of reaching the summit, we were greeted by the sun rising, which was so stunning. We listened to the soldiers that were going through their induction ceremony. They were singing the national anthem as the sun was rising, and it was beautiful. It was a very spiritual experience.
When I was there, I was never in a rush. I always had time to just look at buildings or look at a person or look at an event that was going on and appreciate it, take a moment to stand there and just actually experience it rather than having to rush to my next activity. It was a way to escape from reality.
It's really interesting to see how other people live, and it gives you a greater feeling about the world and how big it is and how small you are.
After Birthright, I commuted independently. I learned the bus system, and I think that's an amazing thing about traveling, feeling independence and feeling a sense of accomplishment from being on your own and discovering things and meeting new people with different perspectives and people that are open to new perspectives and learning about yourself, having a sense of pride that you can be on your own and learn different things and be self-sufficient. I thought that was amazing.